Did you ever hear presentation tips like, be as authentic as possible? Just be yourself. Speak freely and directly to the audience. That's all. That all might be true, but it is only half of the truth. Because it takes a long way to get there. You can't do it by pushing a button. No one can. Take actors, for example. They can tell you a thing or two about being yourself on stage. World-class actors are not automatically authentic and convincing on camera. It doesn't just happen overnight. It is an art that not only needs talent, but a lot of practice. What can we learn from them? Listen for yourself.
I'm really interested in challenges. I want to play characters that I don't know if I can do. I need to feel that kind of walking on a tightrope. I find that really exciting, and I think that it's the only way that I can keep interested, and therefore I hope an audience can keep interested in the films that I do.
Keira Knightley speaks of challenges, and I think that is 100% true for presentations. The first step to being a good presenter is to approach presentations with ambition rather than fear. To seek this challenge over and over again. To use every opportunity to present. Since I realized how important presentations are in business, I used every opportunity to put my heart and soul into it. In the last 10 years, I was actively seeking opportunities to present. Because I realized that despite being very challenging, you will get better with every opportunity. So the first principle, be ambitious. Let's see what Leonardo DiCaprio has to say.
Being an actor is the first thing that I remember wanting to do in life. I remember at 14, 15 years old, watching some classic films, spending months and months watching all the great classics, all the great performers of the past, and being so incredibly inspired by them and saying to myself, one day I want to come close to doing something that good. So I think that thirst or that drive to just achieve what I believe is something as good as, those heroes that I have is what continues to make me want to do this.
He addresses a second important aspect, role models that inspire. You may have heard about TED.com. TED.com is just this fantastic platform where you find tons of brilliant speakers and presentations that inspire. Personally, beyond TED.com, I have been inspired by 3 people in particular with regards to presentations. Steve Jobs and the way how he sells his products, Barack Obama and the way how he tells stories, and Hans Rosling and the way how he brings data to life. We will have an in-depth look at each of them in a separate video. But I also think we can learn from every presentation, even from the bad ones. We can see what we can do better. I try to get all my talks, or most of my talks, recorded, and I look at the recording afterwards, and this is where I get my greatest inspiration and greatest learning from. Seeing the things that don't work so well, that I can change, adapt, maybe even cut, and also seeing things that resonate well with the audience that I could further strengthen. So the second principle, be inspired. Then another important point from Kristin Scott Thomas.
Working in the theatre really exercises your kind of acting muscles. That sounds really teachery, but it really, really helps you get kind of quick and direct.
The third principle, be trained. Of course, this perfectly fits with Presentation Gym, exercising your presentation muscle. That's exactly what we do here. Interesting that she says, practice means getting so good that you can react quickly and flexibly. If there is one thing I have learned over the last years, is that the better you become in presenting, the more flexible and faster you are in the preparation, which has a direct one-to-one impact on your performance on stage. I don't know Keira Knightley and Leonardo DiCaprio personally, but I have spoken to actors. I actually had training sessions with actors. And they told me 7 steps that I would like to share with you very briefly. 7 steps on how to perform better. First, prepare. You probably find good speakers being so easy and relaxed. This is the result of a very focused preparation. Over 20 years ago, I bought this book from Dale Carnegie, Public Speaking for Success. After reading the first chapters, I put it aside because I didn't believe, or I didn't want to believe, what I was reading there. That the key to success to every great speaker is preparation, preparation, preparation. Today I know it is so true. Preparation is key. If you are sure about your message and your structure, you don't have to worry to lose ground underneath your feet. Second, exercise. What many presenters underestimate is the power of practice. They create their presentation until the very last minute and then off they go to present it. It's not a good idea. So instead of working until the very end, use this time to practice, to rehearse, and rehearse your presentation at least 1 or 2 times, ideally out loud, standing on your feet, if you want, in front of a mirror. Third, relax. Shortly before your presentation, I advise you to come to a rest. Breathing exercises can work wonders. Put your hand on your stomach. Deeply inhale and exhale. You will find many of those tips on the web. Fourth, focus. Concentrate on your audience. It is not about you, it is about your audience. It is telling your audience something exciting, or telling your audience something valuable, or telling your audience something funny. No matter which direction you go, focus on your audience, always. Open up. Try to smile and have an open posture. This will not only open you, but also your audience. Relate. Your audience is not your enemy, but your friend. Try to build a connection with your audience. Try to get into conversation. Dare to ask questions. Ask for show of hands. Involve your audience, and you will realize that there is no grey cold wall sitting in front of you, but friendly people like yourself. And finally, move. Don't hide behind your PowerPoint or a lecture, which creates a distance between you and your audience. Stand on front and move on stage, but move slowly, which shows authority and confidence. And move with a purpose, not randomly, so to illustrate something, to highlight something, to demonstrate something. Movement will get your presentation and your self-confidence going. And you will not only move your body, but the people who listen to you. That's it for today. If you find these tips useful, just click on subscribe. And if you want help with your presentation, send them to me and I will have a look at it. See you. Bye-bye.